What's up, mi gente? I am starting the day off by ending the year with my top 10 albums of 2019. This is a segment that I started 2 years ago, but unfortunately because I was on break last year, I didn't get to post 2018. I'm going to make a promise to you that from this year on, this will be an annual segment on my channel. Reason why is because music is a big part in my life. There's not a day that goes by that I don't listen to at least one song. Keep in mind, this is my opinion, my view on what I feel 2019's top 10 albums. What I like about my list, it's not to a specific genre. I pick the most replayable albums that I set with this year and just put them from 10 to 1. When I make this list, I, for some reason, don't believe that collab albums are considered, an artist, because I want to put the top 10 artists on this list, right? So for example, albums like Dreamville, Revenge of the Dreamers 3, that was a really good album, but because it's a collab album, it's not making the list. But I do want to highlight not only that, but I also want to highlight this album, which was, I think, the most replay albums that I had this year, and that was Bad Bunny and J Balvin's Say. That album carried out the summer. To top off the collab albums, one that just came out literally a few days ago was Travis Scott's label, Jack Boys. That album's actually been on replay. Now, for what you have been waiting for. Coming in this year at number 10 is Osuna's Nibiru album. My favorite song of this album had to be Baile, Baile, Baile. Not only is this project full of samples, also Osuna's first album after signing his $100 million Sony deal, which only means there's a lot more music about to come. And I appreciate this guy because for the last 3 years, since he got on and dropped his first album, he has not stopped. Number 9 is Summer Walker's debut album, Over It. My favorite song off this project is Just Might featuring P&D. This is an album that I'm very impressed with, especially being her debut. For her being a new artist, it being R&B, I enjoyed it. Coming in number 8 is Young Thug, So Much Fun. Favorite song off that, hands down, has to be Hot. Young Thug is just one of those artists that when he first started, people didn't understand the flow, but I think with the years that come ahead and the quality of music that he is releasing, even though his quantity is so much, there's always going to be those standout songs. And I think now, with more time that he's given to music, the better artist he is becoming. Number 7 was tough to position because this album didn't come out too long ago. I didn't have enough time to sit with it, but from the first play, from beginning to end, it was just talk about samples, and not only doing that, but the fact that he got the artists from the original songs to be featured and give you a new verse. I have to give it up to Tory Lanez for Chicks Tape 5. If you haven't heard it, check it out. My favorite song would have to be Yes Sir. Now the next album is an album that I have been waiting for ever since he dropped his first solo project, and that is number 6, Harry Styles with Fine Line. I was never a fan of One Direction, even though they had a few tunes. Once these guys separated and became young adults, and the fact that I'm around their age and they're releasing this music, it's like for my demographic versus 13-year-old girls, and I can appreciate the music. I know that it was worth the wait. What can I say? Harry Styles, now in my book, has 2 great projects. Now, my favorite song off this project was To Be So Lonely. Now, coming in number 5, I would tell you I was not expecting this album, but for this artist to be Latin and drop his debut album, Lunay with Epico. My favorite song off this project would have to be La Cama. Check it out. And here's the thing about this list. Just because I am, Latino, I get to make this list, also be able to put you on. And even if you don't understand Spanish, music is a universal language. And I think that is like the magic of music, For example, I like BTS. Do I know 90% of what they're saying? Of course not. But it's good music to me. And I definitely enjoy their videos. Now, this is the part of the list where things get a little bit difficult with my last 4. because I can safely say that each of these albums, I listened from beginning to end at least 10 times each album. And when I had to put this list together, honestly, I put it in the order of which album I heard the most. So coming in number 4 is Post Malone, Hollywood's Bleeding. Favorite song, Saint Tropez. This is an artist that I can safely say has been 3 for 3 in my books when it comes to albums. He only leaves you at the end just wanting more. And this is an artist that I've made a promise that when he comes back to Chicago, I will be at his concert. That has to be a must. Number 3 on my list is Kanye West, Jesus is King. To all the controversy and all the comments and all the dislike and all the negativity that was behind this album, sure, I understand a lot of people were upset because the fact that he said this was a gospel album, but it was still under a hip-hop and rap category. That to me doesn't have anything to do with the music. Maybe that was a mistake. He did just drop a week ago a gospel album with his choir that does, his Sunday service. Even though he's dropping these albums with the track list being less and the songs being not your typical 3+ minutes, that's Kanye for you. And this is a guy that I've grown up from literally late registration to now. Did I listen to the choir album? Yes. Was I a fan of it? No. And my favorite song off that album is Closed on Sunday. One day I'm gonna be in Colorado listening to this song, and it's like, it just hits you differently, man. Like his music, his production, I don't care what you have to say. Kanye West will forever be one of my favorite artists. And whenever he drops music, I will be listening. Forget about his antics and his views and all this stuff. I just press play, listen to the music, and appreciate it for what it is. But behind the words, there's a message. Number 2, and this is an album that I was totally surprised by. I actually saw this artist on a podcast, and just from the interview that he gave, I said, you know what, let me check out his music. This was maybe mid-year, but when I did listen to it, he landed on my number 2 spot, and that is Gashi with his self-named album, Gashi. Now, this isn't a artist that has yet popped off, so what I want to do with putting him on the number 2 spot is put you on his music, and all I ask for is just play his album from beginning to end once. That's it. Now go to any app where you listen to music and type in Gashi and thank me later. My favorite song off this project had to be Roses. Go check it out. Taking the crown for number 1 album of 2019 is the man, the king of bachata, Romeo Santos. When I tell you that I've listened to this man's album at least over 30 times, I can't even count how many times I've watched his videos. What I appreciated with this album called Utopia, he went back to his roots of being a bachatero. And I can't lie, this album is somewhat of a cheat code because every single song is featuring another bachata artist, but these were artists that I was put on. I mean, I know they were before his time, and to basically put a light on these artists that, generations like me probably never heard, or maybe we did, but we didn't know who the artists were. It was a fun experience. And don't even mention, this man sold out MetLife Stadium. That's correct. 80,000 people. One show for this album. He's the first Latin artist to ever do that. Even though I didn't get to go and witness it, it's all right. Now, did Cardi B come out? Yes. Did Aventura come out? Yes. And because of this album, I strongly believe that he will be dropping an album anytime with his original group, Aventura. Let's just say excited isn't a word to describe. Is he coming to Chicago in February? Yes. Am I going? I'll let you take a guess. Now, when it comes to choosing my favorite song of this album, I would say La Demanda. So there you have it. That has been my top 10 albums of 2019. And with all that being said, I will see you in the new year. Wait, are you still watching the video? Please understand that I recorded this today. I'm about to edit this video within the next couple hours. I'll post it tonight at 10 o'clock. Today's New Year's Eve. And did I forget to mention that I'll be attending the Chris D'Elia show?